Hello and welcome to the IDL. My name's Nick, and this is Gluttony Earth. All right, now stop me if you've heard this one before.
All right, stop.
The fastest shot in the west, east, north, but not the south. We've got Kyle joining us.
Why not the fucking south? What did I not do in the south?
There's a faster shot in the south.
Give me their address.
It's John Filet of Chick-fil-A founding founding fame. That's the word I'm looking for.
Really
I could probably say founding fortune, but I was like, that doesn't make sense. What does make sense? He solved a Rubik's Cube in 21 minutes to convince his therapist he was doing all right. It's Adam.
Ooh, no, I think my therapist would take that as a sign that things are not going on.
And Baka just revealed one face of a Rubik's Cube to us. A little sleight of hand. Don't look at the other sides or notice that it's still tilted. It's not fully a cube. Speaking of which, this guy, he's sick of kids being on his lawn, and by lawn, I mean Discord. It's BakaZombie.
I hate children. They keep coming into my work on field trips, screaming while I'm trying to work.
Yeah, I mean, just run him over. And he's single-handedly responsible for 9/11. It's Kane.
Oh, shit.
The South will rise again.
Oh, no.
Okay, two bad things just happened.
There's a lot of things.
I was going to say it, but then I didn't say it.
Okay, so I was thinking with that intro, this was going to be the one to put us on a watch list, and our views are going to be like going up 500% to like a solid 42 listeners. But I like now the implication that Kane made that it was the Confederates bombed the Twin Towers.
Yeah, dude. Like, come on, guys. You knew I was going to say. I couldn't say it.
I imagine it's because it's in New York.
Yeah,
in the north.
The Confederate South they'll rise again.
Out of the descriptions.
You heard it here first, folks, on the podcast that officially showcases the voice and talents of BakaZombie.
I'm deleting it from my
The Confederates are responsible for 9/11.
I know we say this a lot, but we got to stop the podcast. It's been a good run, and we got us. This is taking the cake, though.
Oh, you know what I always say? When life gives you lemons, take the cake. You don't need lemons, you got cake. Classic idiom. I don't know what you're talking about. Speaking of good ideas, though, like that one that I just had, like every idea that's on this podcast, good ideas. Baka gave me a great idea the other day, and I think I agree with it. I think everyone else should agree with it. He mentioned from another game that we play that since we haven't played in a while, everyone should get to level 4. And I agree because we haven't sat down and played in a while. You all should get to be level 4 going forward.
One of Nick's classic jokes.
Yeah. That's what I'm known for, is my classic jokes. My jokester style. What do you guys think about home medical procedures?
What the hell's happening?
Where are we?
This was the bands I was going to get to.
To be honest, I thought the bands already happened with that opening.
That's fair. No, but I have an abscess right now, and I'm like, do I just like do it myself? Do I just get a lighter, get a needle, get some? Get some.
This is no to many different levels of like, do not do that, and also no to this band. Because that was the longest pause for the wildest question. It really got set up with like, I got like a banger list of things here, and then just absolute dog shit. I know you're gonna cut out the pause. It was literally like 10 to 15 seconds of dead silence.
We'll see if the listeners know that there's a silence.
I'm gonna order some.
Listeners, just go back to the end of the intros, hit your pause button, wait 15 seconds, and then hit play again. And that's what we just went through.
That was the experience. Truly dead silence, because none of us knew if it was Bance or recap time.
I looked away for a second, got distracted for a second, came back, like, did we stop recording? What's happening?
No, I was just trying to figure out how to phrase the term medical procedures.
That's what you asked about.
Yeah, but no, Adam doesn't think I should.
No, this is a bad thing to talk about. There's nothing here. We've tried for a lot of them. There's nothing here, bud. Nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing.
Adam, you're in earbuds on the show that hosts the voices and talents of BakaZombie, that is giving you the hard-hitting truths of the Confederacy 9/11. Adam of that show says, do not perform medical procedures by yourself at home with a lighter and a needle.
That sounds fair. Why do I get the bad thing?
I don't know how we can make this funny or interesting. We gotta stop.
It was a legit question, because I'm like, I don't know if this is going to get infected or not, but this pus has to get removed.
Yeah,
It's a bad choice. This is how the bands end. It's a bad thing to do.
We'll seek professional medical help. Pants over.
Yeah,
last time on.
I don't have time for that. I'm a worker in America. You think I have time for actual doctors?
I gotta throw in the disclaimer of, like, this is not medical advice or opinion. We're not medical professionals.
You heard it here, folks.
This is for
Adam says his
only.
professional medical opinions.
If his professional medical opinions are, go to the doctor and seek professional medical help, and yes, I guess so. Kyle, what do you have to say?
I've clocked out. I'm on Twitter.
This is a good one, Kyle.
I'm putting in 2 weeks for the podcast.
I'm using my company mandated break.
On my
See you guys in an hour.
I got a 15 scheduled, so
I've been sitting here in an hour in an increasingly getting warmer room. I think it's just the punchiness is absolutely destroying me. All right. Well, speaking of a lot of time with not a lot of real information, let's hit that recap. So last time, the holiday and ceremony in Atlantis has finally come to an end, and the crew are finally able to leave. Thanks to Silas. To thank Silas for helping clear the wastes, to fighting off Takashi and saving Tappa, Shingi, before they go, gives Silas a parting gift, the uniform and honorary title. I can't talk today. Title of the Star Callers. The crew then makes their way to the surface as Shingi drops them off on the beaches of Lazaret. Endien decides to make her way to... Oh, gosh, excuse me. I'm going to edit that. Endien decides to make her way to Shudrag's volcano lair, accepting his invitation. I can't get through this recap. I can't talk. I don't know what's happening in this episode. Okay. Endien makes her way to Shudrag's volcano lair, accepting his invitation to the visit. There, Endien is given access to the lair's collection of books. However, the information she finds wasn't giving any very direct answers. She did discover that Shudrag got his coil after killing the former resident and bearer of the coil, and being granted it by the Golden Woman, who then visited afterwards. He also shares that he learned from the Star Callers that Attil's armor was an object of power. Endien shares why she seeks out the bearers of the Queen's coils, and they formed an alliance because of such. He shares that the coils being destroyed will weaken the barriers between the second and third worlds, and as a show of their alliance, Shudrag pulls out a Kruth called Cadwaladar from his vat of molten gold and gifts it to her. He says it's part of a collection of instruments modeled after the objects of power. And then back on the main island, Silas invites the boys to get some drinks while they wait on Endien. There, Temenos gets shit-faced on one drink, and Darius and Silas talk about how neither of them particularly want to be librarians. But then Darius gets protective over Endien because of Silas' sudden reappearance in her life and the hardships she's been facing without him, and that's kind of where we left off. Ooh.
Just a few listeners out there. Nick not only did that big pause at the beginning, he also burped during that recap.
Hey, I said pause for edit.
And I just cued the viewers in. I don't know. Behind the scenes. You
can edit it out.
That was a train wreck of a recap. I could not speak like a tenth of those words. Oh boy. Okay, so. I don't know if you have anything specific you guys are wanting to do. If there's things on Lazarus you care about, or if you're just wanting to go. If you wanted to go, we can just kind of skip through. It'll be about a week of travel between boat and train to get back to New Veneer. If there's any scenes or like discussions or dialogue you guys want to have with each other, go ahead and like just throw out those scenes. Otherwise, we can kind of just skip ahead.
I have one minor thing to do before we actually start traveling. And that would be getting just some supplies to make some jewelry. So like silver wire and like very small gemstones and things like that. Not even like full gemstones, almost more of like chips and things like that.
My phone just had a timer go off. I don't.
Exceptionally professional.
I don't know what the fuck is happening today.
But yeah, so like silver wire and like small gemstones to work on some things as we're traveling.
Okay. I'm gonna have you just do like just to make it cheap. If you just want to like, you can get like 10 gold pieces worth of materials.
That's what I was thinking of about the price point I was at.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be using them right away, so that's no worries. I'm not gonna like track them or anything. Like that.
I assumed so. Yeah, I mean, otherwise you can get it's still middle of winter, so as you guys right now you're in the warmer climate of Lazarus. As you guys are heading north on train, you'll eventually see it just gets snowier and snowier as you're headed back up. Yeah, so if you didn't have anything you were interested in talking about, we'll say you guys get there around the 27th of the month. It's about midweek. You arrive back in the station. You see that there's people warmed in warm clothing, hustling and bustling as the new year is approaching. There's a light snow out.
We're starting off this episode fun because we got to go home and talk to the orphans, folks. So, I mean, having no other options, or like knowing that this was coming, start heading to the base.
Yeah, you're good with kids, right?
I don't.
You had your niece here for a while.
I mean, technically the most... I mean, I did, like, spend time with her, but that was also surviving in a deadly swamp for a number of weeks. and then I was in the cursed sleep. So,
well, that's more experience than I've ever had with a child, so I think you're a shoe-in.
I could speak with the children.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I mean, well, we'll be there. I'm just not. I don't know if I'm the best one to talk to them to start with.
It's okay. I can talk with them.
Yeah, Silas, they lead you through this snowy city. A lot of old stone buildings. Through this climate, they bring you to like a little bit to the outskirts, like the east of town, to this like bigger manor. Not really a manor, but like a nicer, bigger house with like a large conservatory attached to it. Inside, you see there's no snow, and there's still like some thriving vegetations and a tree.
I can show you around, Silas, and we can find a room for you if you're going to be staying with us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still reeling from the events in the beginning. Hold on.
You're not mentally equipped to go from the bands to telling orphans their dad is dead.
It's more the intro, I think. You're really frustrated.
God, it was a roller coaster that kept going down. Okay. Who the fuck am I? I'm Silas.
You're Silas. Keep at it. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch.
Okay. Fuck. Did we? Fuck. I don't remember what happened. If I said I was gonna. Fuck. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. Place would to stay at would.
I mean, it could just be something temporary while you find something else. If that's, I'm not insinuating you have to stay with us or move in or anything. But I know you're new around here, so.
Endien.
Yes.
What's your goal?
What do you mean?
With all being a librarian and whatnot.
I mean, right now I'm looking for all the queen's beasts and making sure they're safe and stopping the zookeepers. And I guess this new green as well now.
I know it's been a while, but you just, well, indirectly, you did help me accomplish one of my lifelong quests. So if you'd allow me, I would like to help you.
She's holding back excitement because Endien's never been one to really show emotion, but she's like holding it all inside. Yes, I'd really appreciate that if you could help me out. I was actually thinking that a good place to look might be where we took our library test at. I don't know if it has anything to do with queen bees, but it might have something to do with that darkness stuff that entity was talking to me about when we were in that trial. Or not the trial, it was in that curse you're reading.
Well, lead the way. You'll have my sword. Rapier. This is a rapier. You'll have my rapier.
Of course. Oh well. You want to see the conservatory first?
Sure.
Just grabs his hand and pulls him in the house.
Yeah. So you like burst through the doors and you immediately start heading to the conservatory. I imagine Temenos and Darius trickle in after them.
Yeah. Temenos comes in and he kind of mentally prepares himself for talking to the kids.
Darius was watching that whole interaction very carefully between Endien and Silas.
Yeah.
But would go with Temenos to speak with the kids.
Yeah, as you're getting in, I don't think the other two might have like heard like footsteps somewhere in the house, but probably Endien's probably too excited to get to the conservatory to like really care about dealing with it. You hear the thing, and then you just hear like the clomping of like you may make your way to like the kitchen area, and you hear this clomping of children's footsteps as they like excitedly run into the kitchen to see who's there, and they're like looking at the two of you, like, oh, they're back! Oh, cool! Oh my God! How was it? Where's the hero? Oh my gosh! Owl guy kept telling us that the witch used to be a princess, but then she got turned into a witch, but she's not a witch and she's a princess. And then he kept getting mad because we kept calling him Owl Guy. But he's an owl guy. Yeah, he would be an owl a lot sometimes.
Is he still here?
Sorry, what did you say, Temenos?
Is he still here, or
no? He left a while ago. He
Oh.
Then you hear like heavier footsteps coming through, and you see oh gosh, my brain is mush in this world.
Ildatha?
No, not Ildatha.
Grafto?
You see Grafto.
Grafto is fucking taking care of the kids.
Yeah, you see Grafto is like,
oh Lord.
He's like walking through. He's like covered in like dirt and stuff from smithing all day. And he's like coming in and he's like, "Oh, are you here now? Took you a damn while. Can you take these kids off of me? I'm getting sick of watching them."
Yes, of course. We will care for the kids.
Why?
Children, we need to go somewhere to speak.
Yeah,
where's Stellum? Yeah, let's see. Where's Princess Witch?
Oh, you see Temenos just like at a loss for words as he looks to Darius.
The princess is upstairs. She's in the conservatory. As for the hero, that's what we gotta talk about.
Is he off doing stuff again still?
Your father is one of the greatest heroes I've ever known.
Yeah, Grafto's like looking at the two of you now, like sensing obviously the sensitive nature that's occurring right now.
I make very meaningful eye contact with Grafto.
Your father sacrificed his life to save us and the princess.
The kids are like processing it a little bit, like they're like not exactly getting what you're saying to them. Well, yeah, that's what heroes do. They like punch dragons and protect princesses and stuff. So like, why isn't he here though?
You're right. That is what heroes do. And sometimes the cost to protect those that they need to protect, sometimes that cost is too high. And this time,
I don't think Thelum had money.
It cost him his life. Thelum is gone. And I don't know if he'll be coming back.
The oldest one looks over to Darius. Gilly, and like looks back over to Temenos. You're a liar. Why do you guys hang out with a liar?
Temenos is crying at this, like he's almost he's doing everything to not like sob uncontrollably at this point.
Gilly, I don't think lying is something that is useful in most situations, especially for something this important. I respect all of you enough that I would not lie to you about something so serious.
John, the 6-year-old, who's mostly been quiet during this, he like starts like tear up and sniffle a little bit. You're all liars.
You will always have a home with us. You will always have a place to be safe with us.
If that was true, then why did Thelum leave us too? And he's like starts like burst out crying, and he dashes for the door to run out. Dwando, the dwarven girl, who's like slightly between them, like starts to chase after John as he like exits into the snowing daytime. And then Gilly it was the witch, wasn't it?
Now, something far worse than anything you could imagine was the cause of it. The witch, who is a princess, was trying to save him, and he did what heroes do and protected all of us.
He like is like stifling back his tears to like not break down in front of you guys in like a stern and kind of like angry expression. Mm-hmm. And he just runs out the door as well.
Darius doesn't give chase. His thought process is you have to deal with this in your own way. If they're gonna come back, they'll come back. Like, they know this is a warm place for them to sleep, and it's the middle of winter, so...
Grafto is prepping tea at this point, letting you guys handle the hard news.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got it all like setting up.
So Gilly's the only one who's still here, correct?
No, Gilly. So Gilly just now also ran after her.
Okay, sorry.
So he's he ran right out after with it. So John left first. Dwando followed him. Now Gilly also.
Okay, now Gilly just left.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it feels like this all happened in the kitchen. I don't know, like that's.
yeah. That's what I was imagining.
So Darius just kind of takes a seat at the table in there, and then looks to Graffle and says, how did Eldatha come and talk to you?
I was checking on the place and he came over to me and told me he had an important letter or something like that. Said he had to go back to his home, so he came and he's like, I can't watch the children anymore, I gotta go back. So now I'm stuck here watching them for a while.
Well,
After hearing that, Temenos is going to run out the door and try to search for the kids.
Okay. We'll approach that in a short.
Sorry that you got stuck with the kids. That obviously was not our intention. I do appreciate you assisting, though. And Darius fishes out of his bag. He hands over a pearl, which is worth 100 gold, of just like, for your troubles, this was not something that you were ever supposed to... nothing that was ever expected of you.
Oh, it's fine, boy. And he's like probably like the same age as you, but he probably views you as younger. Even though you've clearly you've aged like that. He like... he's probably way older than you. What am I thinking? He's he's actually probably pretty old. I didn't give him a canonical age, but
I mean, Darius started this at 45, so even like
well, Grafto as a dwarf is probably in his hundreds, I imagine.
Oh,
so it is probably like a it's no bother. Keep your stuff. Sometimes you just gotta take responsibility for things.
And I believe that people should be compensated for their work, so you'll keep that. And if you don't want it, give it to someone else, but I'm not taking it back.
Fine. So what happened? Things go awry for you out there?
Yeah. We got into a real nasty situation that I don't think any of us really expected, and I honestly don't know how we got out of it. We woke up in a wholly different location than where we all went unconscious, and Phelim wasn't with us anymore. So I have a feeling he had something to do with it.
He's like finishing up the tea. He pours it, sets a cup down for you. What about the others? I think I heard foot stompings. It sounded like I just heard the one pair of steps.
Yeah, Endien met up with an old friend. They went off to the conservatory. Neither of them are very good with kids, though, as I'm sure you heard.
She don't look like she's good with smithing. Didn't look she's good for children either.
I'm proficient.
She's got a set of skills that she is extremely good at. Just happens to not be children or smithing.
Just to let you know, I wasn't just here just to watch the children. I was here to watch the children, obviously, but you know, there was a few fires around town while you guys were out.
What? Did they find the cause of them?
No cause found, but it seems as though it a strange series of fires, because it didn't really... 2 fires in the same day. Turns out one of them was a 1-bedroom apartment. The other one was the place you were renting out before you came to this one. So I figure something must have been up, and so I've been keeping an eye on the place. Make sure that it's doing alright. Nothing comes here. Nothing's been bothering here since. I don't know that they know that y'all moved.
Darius immediately tenses up at that mention. Thank you for mentioning that. That's good to know. I'm hoping no one was hurt with those fires.
Nah, nothing found, anything like that. Just the buildings burned down.
How long ago was that?
Roughly 2 weeks ago. You've been gone for a bit now, but...
All right. Again, thank you for all your help and that information. I'll be by, but we got I got a lot of business to take care of in town since we've been away for so long.
I forgot. Have you guys mentioned anything like about the Kingsword to Grafto at all?
No.
You were first looking at like whether you wanted to like reform it.
No, because that like when we initially did it, your first plan for it was going to be more complicated. So I think Darius like started drawing up plans, and then like initially thought it would be too complicated. We had other things to work on, so he's kind of set that aside for the moment.
You know, things are. I don't want to pray too much, but it seems you guys are getting yourselves into something dangerous, though. The library stuff that you're getting into. Deborah mentioned something about a sword that you guys had that you couldn't quite work with.
Did she send a letter to you?
No, this was back when she was still in town.
Oh, all right.
Before she left, she was mentioning it when she was at work.
I mean, yeah, there's something that I had plans for it, but it seemed like it was going to be more complicated than I thought, so moved on to a different project.
Well, if you're looking for something to help give you a bit of a shortcut, and this might seem like weird coming from Grafto, talking about shortcuts.
Yeah, Darius' eyebrow immediately goes up.
If it's something big that you're all working with, that you're dealing with, that's... Considering the things that, the state of things that you are in, the state that Thelum's now in, every such thing. I don't say this lightly. If you're looking for a way to work a little bit more bursts of progress, there's a potential way you could do that.
All right. I mean, I'll have to talk to. It's not my sword, so I'll have to talk with. I have to talk with Endien about it. She's the one that's got it, to see if that's something that she wants to happen. But yeah, I'll certainly I'll be in contact if we get to that point.
I suppose Temenos is off chasing children, and you all have stuff you need to be doing. I need to get back to the shop real quick, do some work. It's good that you're here, so I don't have to. Got other things I could be attending to. Let y'all decompress as much as you need to. You'll be able to check in at some point, but
yeah, I have a feeling. If you think of anything else, or you got any other insights or anything like that, I have a feeling we'll be in town for a while again before we go on our next venture. Again, I got business to take care of before we head out again.
With that, there's still like more water and tea like available for other people if they show up. But he finishes his, and he makes his way out into the snow.
I think Darius spends just like the next 10 minutes staring at his mug of tea, like drinking it, but just again processing all of the immediate and everything else of just like a little bit of spacing out for a while now that he's alone. Because also, I don't think any of us have really been alone for long periods of time since we left for the first mission.
Yeah.
So just relishes that little bit of quiet before he starts going about the base and things like that.
Let's cut over to Endien and Silas. You, at some point during this, you'll have heard yelling, but you guys make your way to the conservatory. It looks pretty nice in here. Looks like things aren't like ravaged in any way.
This is where I have more of the native plants. I have some things I'm testing from like the forecourts and stuff towards the back of the conservatory to see how well they take to this environment. And this is where I would usually bring animals that are injured from the forest to treat them. There's none right now. And this is the pond where I'm going to plant. I should pull out a little sack, the seeds of the Atlantis flower that I found, which was more exciting before we ended up in Atlantis, but I still am glad I got them. She just stares, expecting the Silas.
You'll see would meek be the right word? A small smile on his face.
I know plant stuff isn't really your thing, but there should be some rooms available if you want to go look at those. My room's on the top floor, but there's some lower down if you'd like. I know you don't have much stuff with you, but just somewhere to stay until you find somewhere you want to be.
Never mind. I was going to touch on something that I don't know of, so never mind. Thank you. Just any room? I can choose any?
I can show you the yelling. Oh, they're
liar! And then children stomping out of the house.
We can find you one that's not close to the children's room if you'd like. They can be noisy sometimes.
Did we hear the end of that?
Give me perception checks, because I think you're alerted to like the yelling, but they are still kind of like not right next to you. So I don't. Let's see if you hear what Gilly's harsh words are.
14.
19.
19. I don't think Endien heard it because she's too like excited about. She's concentrated on like this interaction. But Silas, you do hear Gilly yelling like about Endien, that Endien the witch probably killed Thelum.
Do you have kids here?
Yes, Thelum adopted some orphans a while ago. So, unfortunately, I assume they just got the news of his passing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should we go check in on them?
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're not too keen on me, I guess is the way I want to say that. They're not too keen on me.
Well, don't take this the wrong way. You do kind of look scary.
It's just face retreats to a more neutral look as disguise self shimmers over the side of her face.
I mean,
I suppose I do.
did you just use it? Disguise self?
Yeah, disguise self, so her face just looks back to how it did when you first met her.
You don't have to hide it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. She like wipes away the matches. I didn't notice. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think if Endien has done enough nervous jitters for Silas to question anything.
I mean, she has been doing weird nervous things. Like, disguise self just happened on its own.
Then you have bark. Would Silas know enough about Eladrin to where they have this whole season thing going on?
I mean, I guess firstly, would have Endien have explained anything?
I don't know that she would have explained it unless he specifically asked, but like Endien has like falling, like autumn leaves falling out of her hair and all this autumn shit going on. So I guess she didn't explain anything unless you asked specifically.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, if you want to give me like either like a history or a nature check.
Oh, what's a history or nature?
You can give me with advantage just because you spent a lot of like close time with Endien before, so.
She did also have flowers spout out of her hair after staying in the desert, like desert flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you spend like enough time, like you could have picked up stuff. So like with
it's advantage. A 14.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're like acutely aware that she has a lot of like plant related aspects to.
And you said it was about to be winter?
It is winter right now, yeah. We're
it's
almost
winter right now. And she looks autumn.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's because in this version of they kind of like they're like seasonless, unseasoned, and then at some point they like go through like a second puberty into a season, and that's kind of where they stick.
Yeah, they don't all switch seasons. They kind of just have one season they mature into.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Eladrins will have the 4 different seasons, but each Eladrin just has one season for themselves.
Oh. Okay. You can see Silas looking at your face.
Start to shimmer again. Sorry, I mean, when you remember during the test, when I got hit by the fireball, with the flaming skull, burn scarring.
Yeah, but I know you. You have resources to heal this scar.
Yeah, it's trying. It's trying to. Shaking smile.
Do you want to give me a deception check with that?
Oh, Endien. 7.
Oh.
Yeah, like kind of turns her face to the side so that the tree bark's away from you more.
Not turning to the side and the hair falling over.
Pushes it behind her ear. And as the tree bark is kind of like scar tissue that you would.
I just wrote on insight. It's a 13.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, like, she said it's trying to, but it was so lacking conviction, and, like, it doesn't look like it's gotten good at all, because it's, like, even flaring up now, like, almost like it's forming a mass.
Yeah, there's like a flare of bark just coming off of her head that's not part of the scar at all. But we should go check on the children. Make sure they're okay.
You're lucky. You're lucky you recommended that. That was gonna.
Why are you coming at me, Silas?
The conservatory is just one big window. Easy to jump through.
I was about to question you, huh? But yeah,
Why do you think I
he'll let you lead. He'll let you lead the way.
Walk out, kind of pull some of my hair so it goes over the scar tissue and goes to the kitchen where we heard the yelling from.
Yeah, it's at this point it's just Darius with some tea. You can see the steam blowing from the kettle, so it looks like it's still fresh.
How did they take it? Yes, I get a cup and pour some.
About as well as you'd expect them to take it.
Just sniffs the tea. Is this some of yours or some of mine?
I don't know. Grafto made it.
Who's Grafto?
Ildatha got some letter that he had to go back to the kingdom, so I don't know what that's why he's not here.
Got a letter from the court of the Four Seasons? What for?
I don't know. Grafto didn't seem to know, just that Ildatha came and talked to him and said that he had something important, a return to duty of sorts that he had to do and couldn't stick around here anymore. So Grafto was looking after the kids.
I'll have to call father. The kids did Temenos go after them?
Yeah. I mean, I think Temenos is still taking this about as well as all the kids are, so I think it's good for him too to kind of work off some of that energy.
Yeah,
What time is it right now?
We'll say it's like getting to be late afternoon.
Late after, okay.
But I was telling Silas we could find a room for him. I don't know. You know the layout better than I do. If there'd be a good room for him to have.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a couple extra rooms that aren't being used or anything like that, so we can certainly set you up in one of those. Do you want... You gonna be storing anything dangerous in your rooms?
No.
All right. Do you want a magical lock on your door so the kids aren't going in and out? They have a tendency to rifle through things.
Speaking of, I have to check my room quick. I'll be right back. goes off up the stairs.
From her footsteps, I'm gonna listen until she's far away enough.
Well, here's the thing. Grafno mentioned it earlier. He heard one set of footsteps. Endien doesn't really make footsteps at this point.
Well, I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna look until she's gone. And then I'm gonna turn to Darius. You mentioned she was still holding on to this. What thing?
Yeah. Again, everything. She hasn't told me much about what she was doing beforehand, but it's not hard to tell that she's still carrying a lot of things with her. There's I don't think it's a personal choice. She likes to leave her window open. That's a very specific thing that she's got going on. There's some others that make more sense for what we've gone through, but that had started before, or as soon as I met her. So,
trying to fucking remember if Silas ever seen that owl come through the window.
You know, honestly, because you guys, for a good chunk of time, you spent all of your time outdoors. Otherwise, you spent your time in New Firestone. And in New Firestone, you all were constantly avoiding each other and doing your own thing. So it's probably just a habit you didn't really... You knew that she had Newer, and that was a close companion of hers. But, like, you know, you probably didn't get to see anything more intimate because you guys were still, like, growing on each other at that point.
I need... Okay.
you're gonna have to give her time. I know y'all are old friends, but this is a lot all of a sudden for her. So don't go buck wild with trying to help Endien.
Well, I don't know how to.
Well, that's a great place to start, is you think about the best way to help her before you just go blundering about it.
But that room, would you be so kind to lead me to it?
Yeah. I'll help you get set up in there. Just let me know if you want one of those magical locks on it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
You guys head up, set up. Endien, you notice a very stern, lengthy letter on the door. That is like an instruction for the kids to not enter the room ever. But it's like way too like formal and lengthy for the kids to really get it. It does not look like your room has been disturbed at all. It looks like it's all fine. Looks like Eldatha has convinced them to because you're a princess that they should respect you the way he respects you. So it seems like everything's fine with that.
Tapestry still rolled up, mirror still face down on the floor.
Yeah.
She does go to the window and like clutch the feather that she has in resin around her neck as she looks out over the city in the snow falling.
Yeah, and the camera kind of like takes that view and like moves through it over the cityscape of the snowing falling, and we reach kind of like from an overhead we find Temenos. Give me a survival check.
Oh, shit.
Or
you
can do a survival check, and I'm going to say for right now it's going to be DC 15. Or you can give me a persuasion check at DC 18 as you possibly try to run through and ask people, you know, like if they've seen the kids or not, or stuff like that.
Let's do the persuasion.
Yeah, and it is a higher to different. Like they're pretty adept at like scurrying the streets, hiding, running, stuff like that. So it's already kind of hard, but also the snow makes it a little bit more difficult to like. You might see footsteps, but like there's a lot of traffic and the snow's filling it.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's get that persuasion.
Ooh, 22.
22. Awesome. Yeah. You are exiting through the city. The thing is, like, you did not have your interaction with them primarily started at the point that you guys were arriving at having a house. So you didn't get to know all of their secrets beforehand that everyone else had to deal with. But you are running through and you're looking and you're seeing people. You might see like a person who's like on a smoke break outside of a building or just like a watch or something like a local watch out and about, and you're like looking, you're scrambling, like, oh, have you seen these kids? Have you seen these people run through? Two young boys and a young dwarf girl, and eventually they start telling you, like, you get directions as you're like running through, speaking to these people, and you get pointed to like the outskirts of town to like the west side. You said like some kids were running out of town towards the forest to the west.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start heading towards the forest.
Okay. Give me perception. I want a series of 3 perception checks from you.
Okay, 3 perceptions. First one is a 23.
Okay.
The second is an 18. And the third one is an 11.
Okay. As you're like entering this forest to look for them, kind of describe to me what how you're going about this.
Temenos would create like a little light. I believe he has the light feature.
Yeah, you have the light cantrip. Yeah.
Yep. So he would use his light cantrip, and he'd slowly try to like find footsteps, because now that he's out of the city, he feels like he could be able to track them a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going through this less traffic. The treetops are blocking some of the snowfall. You've got your light to see. It's not dark out, but it's still like, in this overcast day in the late afternoon, it's getting darker. You got your light and you're going through, and it's taking you a bit, but eventually you hear someone like, you hear a sound of like sniffling, or like, like the tail end of someone crying, like where they're like kind of wearing themselves out from it a bit.
Can I sense what direction that sound is coming from?
Yeah. I think you can tell. It's coming from like a little bit further in.
Okay. I'm going to ready a spell, Calm Emotions. Just as soon as I see one of the kids, I just want to make sure that they're able to be a little more calm.
Is Calm Emotions one target?
Let me double check. I believe it is. You attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people, each humanoid in a 20-foot radius.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Assuming that they're all within 20 feet of each other?
Yeah, you mean like, so you like can hear it happening, but like as you're going, like you're not really seeing them. Like they're nearby, and you're like making footsteps, but they're kind of getting a little quieter now. If you want to give me a survival check.
Okay. Oh boy, that's a nat 1 for a total of 5.
Total of 5. Okay, you are like, you can hear this crying. You're like, you can't, you know you're in the right spot. You can't tell where it's going. And then suddenly it starts like to quiet or muffle a little bit more. And you're like looking around and you have a hard time finding this. And you like take a step and like the ground like gives on you a bit. And you like snap through some branches and you fall into a hole. Give me a dexterity save.
Let's see. 14.
14. Yeah, you come crashing down and you break through this like false barrier or like seat like floor on the and you hurt your ankle a bit just for like 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you like roll your ankle and you like fall and hit your head into the snow. But you realize you've broken through into what is like this like pretty like it's like a little dig out, like a little dugout somewhere in the forest, and you see the kids like in like this little base of theirs in the forest, and they're like startled by you crashing through. So like they were like kind of quiet, and then as soon as you crash through, you hear like the shriek from Duando as you as the tension just finally like erupts.
As I kind of like recover from my rolled ankle, I'll just quickly like just above like speaking voice. No, it's okay. Kids, it's okay. And like I'll put both my hands up and like a show that I'm not there to hurt them.
What do you want?
No.
Why is a liar coming to our fort?
I understand you guys are hurting right now. I'm hurting as well. I could never understand losing a loved one as you have. But I know what it's like to lose a friend. And for him to have given his life for me, I will make you this promise. I will give my life to protect each and every one of you.
Delum's a hero. He wouldn't just leave us.
Oh,
he's not.
sweetheart.
He wouldn't abandon us.
Of course not. He'd never want to abandon.
Then why are you lying about this?
I wish I could help you understand. But we all grieve differently, and we all process loss differently, and I'm so sorry. But all I can offer you now is your protection, and just for you to know that I will be here if you ever need anything.
Gilly spits into the snow, like kind of vindictively to that statement. Yeah, well, Thelen was also supposed to be a protector and a hero, and he left us. So, I'm sorry, but you're just as bad, I'm sure. That's all you adults are. You just leave people.
You're right. I can't be this hero that you need. All I can give you is my best.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. 23.
Okay. Actually, give me 2 more. I'm kind of going down I want to go down the line on these.
Okay. 16.
Okay.
And
One
then
more.
A 19.
19. Okay. John looks like he's calming a little bit more. He's still like sniffling because he's just been crying out here for a while. Gilly is being a little less hostile towards you, and he's just like more lost in his own emotions. Dwando has been kind of quiet during all of this, but that's what everyone says. That they're going to be there for us, and they're going to do their best for us. But every time they say that, they leave. And we're out on the streets again and again. Thelen was like us, and he just lived in a tent, and he scavenged and was really bad at farming. But he was like us. But even he's gone.
Our loved ones never really leave.
How can you call them loved ones if they leave you?
They're our loved ones because of the love they've shown us.
That love ends really fast for a lot of people. If they loved us, we wouldn't be here, having to make our own way as kids.
How about this? You give us some time. I don't expect you all to forgive us so quickly, but stay with us. If you're able to, if you feel like you can scavenge and survive on your own, you're welcome to leave, but give the scary witch princess a chance.
You can hear their stomachs start to grumble, like kind of loudly in that moment.
Come on. Let's head back.
And kind of reticently, Temenos is able to lead these hungry, sad, grieving children back to the manor with a light ahead of them, like a glowing lantern leading them back to it, the darker and darker out. I think that is where we can end this episode. If you want to cancel me on Twitter, you can hit me up at Bumblescum or on Blue Sky. If you would like to talk to us about the show, I guess. If you would like to talk to us about never being underwater again, you can always hit us up at IDL_RPGS or IDL.RPGS on Blue Sky. If you would like to have a serious conversation with your employer, you can always hit up Adam for tips on what good tea to have at Little Growth. If you would like to see someone's collection of plants, you can always ask BakaZombie at ZombieBaka. If you would like to hear a story of hope in hard times, you can always ask Kane for one at Kane_Wallner. And at this point in time, Silas is getting accustomed to his new room, so Kyle's busy with hanging up his T-Swift posters there. So give him a moment. That's it. Goodbye.